Welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors. My name is Chris. It is Monday, November 15th, a beautiful Monday morning in Westlake Village, California. And before we get started, one thing to note, Bitcoin's biggest upgrade to the network just happened. Yes, Taproot has been implemented. I will leave a link with an article if you care to know more about the details. But I would say overall, it's a good thing in my opinion. So let's jump right into it. Bitcoin. Look, I got gold up there. Bitcoin still holding this range here. Still holding it up above 60,000, actually grinding against the highs this weekend, alongside Ethereum holding it up above 4,100. As you can see here, we're at 4,600 right now. We've got the Bitcoin dominance here coming in at a 43. So again, we are expecting this area to hold here at 42 if this is going to be a macro low. We got the fear and greed index ticking down from a 74 to a 72. And we still have open interest at all-time highs. And the global leverage ratio at all-time highs. And so again, I am expecting a huge move. And I would expect that the bulls need to take over this week if they do want to stay in control. And now I do want to take a look at the top 5 best coins here today. What do we have here today? UMA up 33%, Wax up 21%, KuCoin up 16%, Crypto.com up 13%, Nexo up 12%. Now let's follow up on our last video here, and I'm going to take this off for just a second, make it a little easier to see. So following up on our last video, we did say if we had any kind of a 4-hour closure above 64,000, which we did get, we were expecting the measure move off this consolidation to get hit at 67,500. We got that even up to 68,000. And we did say if we get a daily closure above 68,000, which is this region right here, we're going to be expecting a measure move to get hit at 76,500. So, you know, kind of getting rejected off the top side of the range, coming back down, testing the bottom side, not a bad thing, very typical. And this reminds me a lot of last year when Bitcoin was grinding up against 20,000. It was a couple of weeks, you know, and we were just kind of all sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. And so that move is probably going to come. But again, any kind of a daily closure above 68,000, I am expecting that measure move to get hit. And let's say if we just, and that was off the weekly consolidation, right? So if I pull up our weekly chart and we pull up a fib retracement here from top to bottom, and then we pull this up here, yeah, next fib target there is at 68,000. Let's do it off a daily, or sorry, at 80,000. If we do it off the daily consolidation, let's see what we get here. So yeah, that's more up towards 80,000, and that's 68. So that the 618 just got hit. Either way, you know, I am expecting trend continuation at this point, and that's as long as 4-hour CMEs are closing above this last higher low at 63,500. I am going to expect trend continuation onwards and upwards as long as we're making the higher lows like this here. These are all higher lows. Let the trend be your friend until the end of the trend, right? So as long as we're holding these higher lows, I'm expecting trend continuation. And we are in an uptrend on all higher turn time frames, and as long as we're closing dailies above 58,500, I am still macro bullish, looking for those targets to get hit between 76,000 and 80,000. And we did say invalidation comes with the daily closure below 65,000, and let's see if that is holding true. So CME's got it. Let's see if spot price got it. So daily closure below 65,000, and yeah, we were expecting a move down to 60,000. Didn't quite get it yet, and I wouldn't be surprised if we do, because the leverage ratio is so high right now. If we get a move down to 60,000 and then make new all-time highs all in one breath, I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that happen. But I do want to remind myself here on the higher term time phrase, on the higher term time phrase, on the bi-monthly, I'm just going to pull up this on spot price action so everybody can see. On the bi-monthly, we did close above the topside Trailing band, which does imply volatility expansion, and that is very good for the bulls. So on the macro scale, this isn't happening today or tomorrow, but the extension on this from this high here right to this low, the fib retracement, the extension on that is first stop at 71,000, next stop is going to be 90, and rarely do we stop out at the 1618. Very likely heading up to the 2618, which is at about 95,000. Again, not happening today or tomorrow, and this isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing my technical analysis perspective off the charts to kind of give you an idea of what I'm looking at, so hopefully it's helpful when you're using your own tools to make your own investment decisions. So that is it for Bitcoin versus US dollar. I want to move on to Ethereum here. And you can see even on the bi-monthly on Ethereum, closing above the topside Trailing band, expanding volatility. And I do believe this is not showing long enough price history. But volatility is maxed out here, so that's one thing to keep an eye on here. But we do have RSI back in the bullish control zone. And we do have, let's see if we're making a lower high here. So this would be a higher high, this would be a lower high, but we haven't put in a high yet. So how would you confirm a high? Any kind of a closure below, right, the last prior low, bi-monthly low. But moving back on, I want to get to the lower term time frames on a 4-hour. Closure below 46, call it 4,600. I'm looking for a move down, back down to about 4,400. Somewhere in this region right here. And so any kind of a 4-hour closure below 4,600 and move down, back down to 4,400. And that's what we were talking about last week, is the same thing here. Any kind of a closure below 4,600, we were expecting a move down to that 4,400. Close enough is close enough. But again, I am generally bullish on this asset as long as we are closing dailies above 41,500, sorry, 41,050. And I would expect trend continuation and this measure move to get hit somewhere upward around 5,100. And that's the measure move coming off of this kind of cup and handle formation here. So I would definitely be looking out for that. Now let's jump on to some fun stuff here. I want to bring up sand, which we made a video about last week. Sand is putting in an ascending triangle here with a measure move up to about $4. So how do you measure this? You take it from about 50% length. Typically these break at about 75%, so that would be somewhere around the 22nd, getting close to Thanksgiving, and any kind of a daily or 4-hour closure above $3.20. I'm expecting this one to head back up towards, whoa, let's put that back on to where you can see it. That's up to about $4 right there. Yeah, $4.10. However, invalidation on the other side, any kind of a 4-hour closure below, let's say, did I put it in at 273? No, that can't be right. I'd say invalidation comes on the other side with any kind of a 4-hour closure below 230. And that would invalidate that. But as long as we're making higher lows here, riding this ascending triangle, I would expect trend continuation. But you know, I would say this though: if you look at BBWP, which is coming from almost 100% read and starting to go down, that implies consolidation, and Stokes are coming down. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do test the bottom side of that same triangle again. Let's take a look at silver, right? Good old silver here. Looks like silver. It is bouncing off the bottom side of the range here, which, let me see if I can pull this up more on a macro scale. So you can see silver's been trading between, call it $21 and $28 an ounce over the last 12 months. And what I would say is we are bouncing off the bottom side of the range here, very likely to head up to the top side of the range around 28, 28.50. Now I would say any kind of a weekly closure, what we do need is a weekly closure above the top side of the range coming in, call it a weekly closure above 28.50, and I am going to expect a move next stop at 32, but probably extension up to about 40 bucks. Gold also breaking out here, which has been doing kind of the same thing, trading in a range here, call it between 1900 and 16 or 1700 over the last year. And we are about to break out. We just got a weekly closure above that last consolidation. So I would expect continuation of the top side of the range, probably around 1900 or 1950. If we can get a weekly closure above there, let's see, what would be the measure move off of this consolidation here? Let's see here. Where would I want to measure this from? Let's be conservative. So, yep, up to the prior highs at 2050. If that breaks, you know, probably extension up to about 2300. So, again, that's it for today, guys. Hope you have a blessed day. Hope this was helpful. Feel free to post a comment, ask a question below so I can follow up with an answer in the next video. Thanks. Take care.